The situation in Sudan, but not so far, is the diaspora issues, the Kenyan diaspora issues. And I do believe we do have Kenyans in Sudan who might have been caught up in that. But of course, there are other issues that concern the Kenyan diaspora that we're going to be discussing in our next interview. I'm joined here in studio by Wycliffe Odero, who is representing the Middle East diaspora. And via Zoom, I'm joined by Bernard Kavyu, who is the chairman, Diaspora County 48, Kenya, and he is in London. Thank you so much for joining us, gentlemen.
Thank you, Prince. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Okay, so let's just jump into it. When you think of the Kenyan diaspora, I'll start with you, Bernard. What jumps to mind as the biggest issue that is of concern right now that needs to be addressed? I do understand there's a bid to ensure that the Kenyan diaspora is another county unto itself. What are the issues that you hope to be addressed through this endeavor?
Okay, thank you very much, Trix. But I'll just go straight away to the topic you just covered, because that falls squarely into some of the issues we've been dealing with in diaspora. And actually, one of the reasons our delegation was in Kenya to meet government officials is evacuation and also repatriation. You've just talked about Sudan. And yes, those Kenyans who are affected in Sudan, they fall under Diaspora County 48. Anyone who has left Kenya to live, work, or study abroad is automatically a member of the Diaspora County 48. And we have been facing serious problems when it comes to Kenyans in distress, Kenyans stranded. And you've just given a very a good example of what really happens, because all those people could just be hearing the numbers. To them, to many people, it could just be a statistic. Oh, today, 3,000. But to us on the ground in diaspora, this is real. It's real, where you see people who devoted their lives, they lived their lives in diaspora, and then all of a sudden events occur and everything you've worked for is shattered, is destroyed, and you have to get moving, you have to run, you are in danger. And this is what we've discussed with the government, and we say these things are going to happen. They've been happening and they continue happening, and we cannot expect every time there's a crisis anywhere in the world, Kenyans are in distress, they have to run to the government, because the government does not have unlimited resources. And that's why we came up with a special, bespoke, tailor-made insurance policy cover purely for Kenyans living to go and work or live abroad, where they can be covered with an insurance cover, which means like all those people you named in Sudan now. What would have happened if this policy had been sanctioned by the government is all these people would have been insured. And what diaspora insurance would have done is charter a plane and get all those people into safety. And this is very important. Actually, I'm glad that you started with this, because it just tees off what I'm about to say, that these things are going. We saw this happening in Ukraine. We've seen this happen during COVID. We've seen Kenyans stranded every day, not just because of war, but other reasons. And we are saying it's time we think beyond just running to the government all the time. Let people take an insurance cover that ensures if something happens to them, within 24 hours,
yes,
they could be evacuated into safety, or we can also arrange to put them in safe houses where they can be safe before evacuation.
Thank you.
In case of those who have died,
yes,
we also have repatriation of their mortal remains back home. So this is really very important, and we put a proposal to the government, and we hope it's going to be taken very serious.
Absolutely, and thank you, Bernard, for bringing up the issue of Ukraine. Nobody can plan for war or the situations such as what is unfolding in Sudan. But unfortunately, these things do happen. Now we've touched on Sudan and what happened with Ukraine. We had Kenyans going online and calling for help, and these are things that we witness every so often, especially when one passes away, and now we're having families contributing, and there's a ruckus around it. Insurance can help with that, but you represent Wycliffe. You represent another area that is often in the news, and that is the Middle East. You earlier on you were calling it Team Kubo, which I assume is Team Strong. There's a lot of Kenyans working in the Middle East, and there are also stories that come out in the media. We hear about people suffering. So when we have the diaspora as a county, explain to us why this would be beneficial to the Kenyans working in the Middle East, specific to the problems that are very unique to that geographical part of the world.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Wycliffe Adero. I stay in the state of Qatar, and I represent an organization called Diaspora County 48, which is an organization that brings all Kenyans living in diaspora together. We have 8 regions, and Middle East is part of it.
Yes.
Now, actually, I represent the interest of Kenyans who are living in the Middle East, and we call ourselves Team Strong. Now, you find that some of the challenges that we have, or there are some of the news, or people have seen numerous news on the social media and also on different televisions. Now, if we can have this Diaspora County 48, one of the areas by which I believe that we can tackle on our own as diasporans, especially people are going to the Middle East, is about the agencies. Most of the problems that we get in Middle East, they are as a result of the agencies that we have back in Kenya. Now, as Diaspora County 48 Middle East region, of which I am in charge, I have different people representing us in different countries. So whenever there is a problem, let's say in Lebanon, I know I have Caroline while you are there, or I have Priscilla, or we call her Tush.
Yeah.
If it is in UAE, we have Dorothy. In Qatar, we have a lady called Joyce. Now, you find that agencies here in Kenya, they are only after the commission. They take our people. After taking commission from our people, then they dump them to Middle East. Now, you find that after they have been paying the commissions, and these people come to the Middle East to find that most of the jobs that they are being promised that they are going to do is not what they are going to do.
Yeah.
If they found
you're promised to go work in a hotel, you find yourself in someone's home as a house help, right?
Yeah.
And these stories keep happening over and over again. How would a county being established ensure that we are changing the narrative because of the situations that many Kenyans feel back home are forced to endure? Many of them still go abroad despite that problem. So when we have a county that you're bidding for, what will change? How will it help?
Actually, if we have our own counties now, we will have the mandate to control and also to monitor these agencies back in Kenya.
Okay.
Now, before anybody, let's say that I'm in the state of Qatar. If you want to come to the state of Qatar and I am there, I will know this person is coming for this job and this particular company. So for us having our own county, we will be able to regulate these agencies, whereby you find that now that we don't have our county as diasporans, it's the Kenyan government, okay? And also we have the fake agencies.
We'll be able to weed them out.
Yeah, we will be able to weed them out, and also we will make a proper structure. If you want to come to the Middle East, we must know, as a county 48, what are you coming to do? Most of them, they don't even sign any contract.
Okay.
They just find themselves. Like as we speak around now, as I was seated here at the waiting room, I've just gotten a message. We have Kenyans who went to to Saudi Arabia. They are not working as we speak right now.
Wow. The problems might be solved by having that sort of representation in government. Back to you, Bernard. I'd like for you to paint a picture for Kenyans about the collaboration that you hope to have or you're already having with government as we speak. Have you gotten the right kind of recognition? And of course, what would it look like when you talk about a county 48 in terms of having a governor, senator, and all the representative? How will that work?
All right, thank you very much, Trix. So yes, the process has started. To be honest with you, we started our quest for the Diaspora County way back in 2010 after the passing, the enactment of the new constitution in 2010. And in 2014, actually the Kenyan Diaspora Policy document was formulated by the last regime. And on that document, it was clearly stated that there was need to engage with the Kenyans in diaspora to allow us to participate more in the running, in the governance, in decision-making in the country. On paper, everything sounded very good.
Yes.
But when it came to implementation, very little happened. We are talking of 2014. Some of the issues, the main issues that we were raising at that point were the right for those of us in diaspora to register and vote. So I remember 2013, for example, we did not participate. You could not register and vote in diaspora.
Yes.
So through our campaigning and lobbying in 2017, we were allowed, some countries were allowed to register and vote. Those were the East African community countries, that is Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, and South Africa. Those countries were allowed to register and vote, and Tanzania. And then